Hi, this is Teacher Sivile once more. And this afternoon, I'll be taking the grade 5 in Integrated Science. In Integrated Science, we will continue looking at the environment. The environment. So we are saying So we continue looking at the environment. Now, in our previous video, we did look at parasites. Parasites. I'm sure you are able to remember. Under parasites, we mentioned to say these are organisms that live and feed from other organisms. They live and feed from other organisms. They do not only live and feed from other organisms, but they also get shelter from those organisms. We outlined to say there are two types of parasites. I'm sure you are able to remember. One, we said we have what we call internal parasites. Right? Internal parasites. We said internal parasites are parasites that live inside the body of the host. These are parasites that live inside the body of the host. Apart from internal parasites, we mentioned the external parasites. Alright? We said external parasites live outside the body. They live outside the body of the host, or outside the body of the animal or the plant that does what? That provides food for this. We gave examples of internal parasites such as hookworms. We also talked about roundworms. Apart from roundworms, we also looked at liver fluke. We said all these are internal parasites. On the examples of external parasites, we looked at lice. We said lice is an external parasite. Apart from lice, we also talked about ticks. We said ticks are external parasites. The main focus of today is not parasites. I want us to look at something else. When we talked about how we are supposed to control these parasites, we said use of chemicals is involved. The use of chemicals to control these parasites is what involved. So these chemicals, when used, they lead to what we are calling now pollution. So our focus today is to look at pollution. We will look at pollution. Having given the preamble on the parasites and how these chemicals cause pollution, I want to find out from you. What is pollution? What do you think is pollution? We always talk about pollution. No, we are polluting the environment. What do we mean by pollution? Well, without wasting much time, pollution means introducing harmful substances into the environment. So therefore, we are saying pollution is the introduction of harmful substances into the environment. So, pollution is the introduction of harmful substances. substances into the environment. That is what we mean by pollution. It is the introduction of harmful substances into where? Into the environment. Now, when we talk about environment, there are a lot of places that constitute the environment. In other words, we are saying there are different examples of what? Environment. Right? This environment can be air. Right? Air on its own is an environment. It can be water. Water on its own is an environment. It can be soil or land. These are the three kinds of environment that we can talk about. So when you introduce harmful substances into air, into water, and into land, what you are causing is what we are terming as the pollution. What you are causing is what we are terming to as pollution. Now from that, we can talk about types of pollution. Types of pollution. What are the different types of pollution? What are the different types of pollution? What are the different types of pollution? Alright, there are three types of pollution. There are three types of pollution. So we are saying there are three types of pollution. And these are, what do you think are these three types of pollution that we are talking about? We have said there are three types of pollution. What are these three types of pollution? Well, one, we have what we call air-water pollution. Air pollution. So we have what we call air pollution as the first type of pollution. Secondly, we have water pollution. Water pollution. Water pollution. Thirdly, we have soil or land pollution. These are the three types of pollution that we have. These are the three types of pollution that we have. Air pollution, water pollution, soil or land pollution. Why are we saying that we have these three types of pollution? The answer to that question is very simple. Why? Because air is an environment, and once you introduce harmful substances in an environment, you are going to affect the living things that depend on what? Air. Water as well is an environment. Once you introduce harmful substances in water, you are going to affect the living things that are found in water. Soil as well as land, you can call it soil or land pollution. There are living things in the soil. There are different living things that are found in the soil. So once you pollute the soil or the land in general, what you are going to affect are the different kinds of living things that will depend on what? Soil as well as land. Now, let us look at what air pollution is, what water pollution is, what soil pollution is. With me here is a chart with some detailed explanations on these things that we are talking about. Okay, so when we talk about air pollution, water pollution, as well as land pollution, we will begin looking at water pollution. What is water pollution? We are saying this is when water is made unsafe for use. When water is made unsafe for use, then you will say that water has been polluted. Soil or land pollution. What is soil or land pollution? This now we are saying it happens when soil is made unfit for growing water crops. Remember, we grow different crops of through water, through soil or land. Now, when we pollute the soil, it will become unfit. It won't be able to make crops to do what? To grow well. So when you do that, you have polluted the soil. We have air pollution. Air pollution happens when air is made unfit for use by people, by plants, as well as animals. People, animals, and plants depend on the air. We breathe in air. So once that air has been polluted, we will have problems. We will have different problems. Now, we are saying this pollution has got negative effects. It has got problems that it brings to the environment. What are the effects of pollution? What are the effects of pollution? Number one, we are saying it leads to acid rains which destroys plants by scorching them. Pollution leads to acid rains which destroys what? Plants by scorching them. What happens is that we have different industries in our country, different industries in different towns. Now, from these industries, they produce a lot of smoke. They produce a lot of what? Smoke. This smoke contains different chemicals. The smoke contains different chemicals. When the smoke goes into the atmosphere, it is going to combine with water in the atmosphere. When it rains, it is going to rain acid rains. When this acid rains falls on crops, it is going to scorch them. It is going to destroy what? These crops. Therefore, we cannot have food to feed on. Apart from that, we are saying pollution leads to diseases such as cholera. Pollution leads to diseases such as cholera. Certain industries do emit different chemicals. These chemicals are poured into different rivers as well as lakes. When this happens, it is going to cause what? Pollution. Water is going to be polluted. When water is polluted in that manner, it is going to begin spreading diseases such as cholera as well as typhoid. Once you drink that water, you are going to get these diseases that we are talking about. These are known as waterborne diseases. We call these as waterborne diseases. Apart from that, we are saying it kills aquatic life. It kills aquatic life. What do we mean by aquatic life? We are saying aquatic life are all the animals and plants that live in water. All the plants and animals that live in water, we call them aquatic life. Now, in rivers as well as in lakes, there are different animals that live there. We've got the fish, we've got frogs, we've got plants growing in water. So once you pollute water, it is going to kill these animals. How? For example, if you pour what we call oil in water, it is going to cover the top part of the water. What is going to happen if that happens? What will happen is that air now won't be able to enter the water. Air won't be able to enter the water. By so doing, it is going to make aquatic life to do what? To suffocate. This aquatic life is going to suffocate and eventually they are going to die. So that is what we can discuss when it comes to the effects of pollution. Now, on the issues to do with diseases, it is not only these waterborne diseases that we have discussed. We can also talk about different respiratory diseases such as bronchitis. You know, when air has been polluted, it is going to make it difficult for us to do to breathe. We are going to develop or have different diseases of the respiratory system, such as bronchitis. So that is how dangerous this pollution can be. Before I go, I want us to go through what we have been discussing today. We've been looking at pollution. Pollution. We have said pollution is the introduction of harmful substances into the environment. Pollution is the introduction of harmful substances into the environment. Types of pollution. There are three types of pollution. Three types of pollution. One, we have water pollution. We are saying water pollution is when water is made unsafe for use. Water pollution is when water is made unsafe for use by people and by plants, including animals as well. Soil or land pollution. We are saying this happens when soil is made unfit for growing crops. This happens when soil is made unfit for growing what? Crops. Remember, we grow our crops in the soil. So when we make our soil unfit for growing crops, what we have done is we have caused soil or land pollution. The third one is air pollution. Air pollution. This happens when air is made unfit for use by people, plants, and animals. This happens when air is made unfit for use by people, plants, and animals. Effects of pollution. What are the effects of pollution? The effects of pollution include it leads to acid rains which destroys plants by scorching them. It leads to acid rains which destroys plants by scorching them. Apart from that, we are saying it also leads to diseases such as cholera and typhoid. It leads to diseases such as cholera and typhoid. This is common with water pollution. Aside from that, it kills aquatic life. It kills aquatic life. Aquatic life means all the animals and plants that live and grow in water. Aquatic life means all the animals and plants that live and grow in water. So when it comes to integrated science in looking at pollution, this is what we can discuss. I have a short exercise which I request everyone to do back there at home. Prepare your books as well as your pens. Okay, so as promised, here is the short exercise. Here is the short exercise. Number one says, what is pollution? What is pollution? Number two, mention the three types of pollution. Mention the three types of pollution. Remember we said there are three types of pollution. Number three, write three effects of pollution. Write three effects of pollution. Number four, the term aquatic life means dash. The term aquatic life means dash. So you are going to do this short exercise. Well, with me, this has been Teacher Sivile from Fountain School. Until next time, shalom, shalom.